Greetings everyone, friends. Today in our issue, emergency mode was introduced in New York, tornado in the USA, Florida may go underwater, giant cracks were found in the ground in 4 American states, ecological disaster in Brazil, flooding and landslides in Guatemala, Ebeka volcano woke up in the Kuril Islands, giant swarm of flies in the city of Kyzyl, meeting of tourists with killer whales on Sakhalin. New York State Governor Kathy Hochul has declared a state of emergency due to flooding caused by heavy rains. I am also declaring a state of emergency in New York City, Long Island and along the Hudson River due to the heavy downpours currently being experienced in the region. She announced this on her social media account. The weather conditions are causing problems with public transportation and the subway is partially closed. LaGuardia Airport has also limited its operation. Residents are advised to stay indoors, leaving the street only in case of emergency. Several roads and the lower floors of some buildings are waterlogged due to the prolonged rainfall. Governor Hochul noted that up to 13 centimeters of rain fell overnight and another 18 centimeters is expected during the day. The situation is extremely dangerous and life-threatening, the governor warned. The U.S. National Weather Service also emphasized that the heavy rainfall warning affected about 10 million people in New York. Large cracks in the ground have been discovered across 4 U.S. states, scientists have reported. Surveyors have put on maps the presence of faults in the south of Arizona, which extend for 272 kilometers. In addition, similar formations have also been identified in the states of California, Texas, and Utah. An employee of the Geological Survey named Joseph Cook suggests that these cracks were created as a result of unnatural processes. He believes that these faults indicate stress in the Earth's crust and surround flat areas of land that have subsided after groundwater support has decreased. This phenomenon could entail a threat to homes, roads, dams, and even the safety of living things including humans. Scientists believe that such sinkholes in the ground are mostly due to human activities. More than 80% of the cracking cases are the result of overextraction of underground water resources, which provide half of the drinking water supply for the public. When groundwater is overextracted from natural aquifers, the ground sags and cracks form, explained geologist Joseph Cook. In the South Dakota state of the United States, a powerful tornado phenomenon occurred that caused damage to farmers' fields. Witnesses managed to film this unusual event, and, according to them, the air funnel moved very slowly. Happily, no one was injured, but the tornado destroyed crops and left deep potholes in the ground. Later, another vortex formed in the same area. Both phenomena formed after a thunderstorm passed through the region. According to the latest research, the Gulf Stream, a warm ocean current that plays a key role in providing a warm climate in northern Europe, has weakened significantly. This revelation raises fears as the possibility of catastrophic consequences for the UK, Ireland, and other regions increases. The Gulf Stream, which functions as a huge conveyor belt, has influenced the northern European climate for millennia. It has carried warm surface water masses from the equator to the north and returned cold and low salinity deep water to the south. Scientists have found that the strength of this process has now diminished compared to at least the last 1,000 years, and this is a worrying trend. According to Professor Stefan Ramstaff, the situation is worsening due to excessive rainfall and melting ice caused by climate change. If the Gulf Stream stops, it could lead to freezing temperatures in northern Europe and rising sea levels along the eastern shores of the American continent. There may even be flooding in Florida. These conclusions are supported by modeling results. The prolonged drought that hit Brazil's largest state, Amazonas, was a real ecological disaster. It occurred due to a serious drop in river levels and a sharp rise in water temperature, which led to the death of tens of thousands of fish. The situation has become critical, especially for the local population. The region is directly dependent on the fishing industry, and according to preliminary data from the authorities, the consequences of the drought could affect more than 500,000 residents of the state. The government is actively preparing a working group to provide emergency aid to the affected residents of the region. The first shipments of food, water, and medicines have already been delivered to the area. This record drought in Brazil has serious consequences for nature, and according to climatologists, its impact this year has been more severe than usual. The department of El Quiche in Guatemala was affected by excessive rainfall, resulting in flooding and landslides. The natural disaster damaged about 100 houses and more than 2,000 people were displaced. Some roads were also washed out. According to Guatemala's National Institute of Meteorology and Hydrology, 180 millimeters of rain fell in the Grande Beach area in the department of El Quiche. Heavy rains also caused flooding in the department of Antigua, Guatemala. On the island of Paramusher in the Kuril Islands, the Ebeka volcano spectacularly ejected a column of ash to a height of 2 kilometers. It happened right in front of the eyes of a group of tourists. The plume of ash was visible from afar and spread to a distance of more than 10 kilometers. The Ebeka volcano became active 7 years ago and an orange aviation hazard level was declared for it, indicating an increased likelihood of eruption. In the city of Kyzyl, located in Tuva, there has been an infestation of midges. According to eyewitnesses, huge swarms of midges flooded the neighborhood, penetrating into houses, surrounding cars, and forming real clouds of insects. Video footage also shows gnats covering horizontal surfaces so thickly that locals have to rake them up with shovels. Residents of Kyzyl claim that this is the first time they have encountered such a phenomenon, and the reasons for this infestation remain unknown at the moment. Tourists who traveled in small boats along the coast of Sakhalin on the Navakova-Mayak-Aniva route suddenly got an impressive show. While sailing between several boats, several killer whales began to surface from the water, providing onlookers with an incredible spectacle of these mammals. Friends, of all the stories in this issue, which one impressed you the most? Do you sympathize with the ordinary Americans and Brazilians affected by the floods, or for some reason is it hard for you to empathize right now? Please share your views in the comments. May peace and goodness be with you and your families, and remember that we must always take care of our common home, our planet, always keeping our humanity capitalized.